Hi everyone, Mayor Justin Elliker here. Today I submitted my proposed budget to the New Haven Board of Alders. This has been one of the most challenging budgets our city has ever had to work through. Our city is facing a deep financial crisis, unlike any we have seen in decades. As we work to prepare this year's budget, we faced a $66 million deficit. And while the COVID-19 pandemic most certainly had an impact, the main drivers of this deficit are structural financial issues that have built up over decades, such as increased debt payments, employee costs, and other fixed costs. And the biggest driver of all, pensions. In fact, in this year alone, we're looking at more than a 25% increase in our required pension payment. The good news is that we're working to get these structural costs under control. We're taking the big step of reducing our expected investment rate of return for our pensions to a more responsible 7.25%. And we're capping our annual debt issue to $30 million a year, the lowest in decades. Both of these steps will start to right our fiscal ship in a significant way. The bad news is that with a $66 million deficit, we're in a crisis with fewer and fewer options. Remember, last year's budget was tough, and we eliminated over 100 positions and cut numerous programs. There's not much left to cut, and New Haven's property taxes, while not the highest in the state, are already high. Having been mayor for now over a year, I can tell you that our problem is not that we spend too much. Rather, it's the result of a structure in Connecticut where municipalities, such as New Haven, cannot adequately collect enough revenue to fund the very services our residents need and many residents in the region rely on. Approximately 60% of our city is non-taxable. That means 40% of the city pays 100% of the real estate taxes. Even worse, Connecticut cities and towns are forced to rely more on property taxes than nearly every other state in the nation. That's just not right. As we know, Yale University accounts for the vast majority of the non-taxable property. Over the years, we've been unable to gain additional funding from the state of Connecticut or Yale to help correct this problem. Now it is time for both to take action. It is with that backdrop that I will be presenting two budgets to the Board of Alders. The first budget contains no additional revenue from the state or Yale. As you can imagine, to close a $66 million deficit, this budget is a huge blow to our city. It includes significant layoffs, closing a library, a firehouse, and a senior center, and many other cuts in programs and positions, and a 7.75% tax increase. Our taxes are already very high, and our services in the city are already not enough. We hope to avoid this budget at all costs. The second budget is to maintain the services we provide today. This depends on one thing, the state and Yale doing the right thing and significantly increasing their support for New Haven. There's some hope here. There's a groundbreaking proposal by Senator Martin Looney to significantly increase payment in lieu of taxes funds for municipalities in Connecticut that have a lot of need. For many years, pilot payments have held mostly flat. This year, New Haven has led here, working closely with Senator Looney and members of the New Haven delegation in gathering together a coalition of 27 other mayors and first select persons to support the proposal. If it's finalized, it would mean more than double our current pilot payment, an additional $49 million each year. And our team is having active conversations with Yale. I'm cautiously optimistic that the university understands that it needs to play a much more active role investing in our city. You can help by voicing your support for this increased funding. We have an incredible city, and it's at a crossroads, and much of our future depends on the integrity of the state and Yale. It's in these moments of crisis that we see the character of people and institutions. We'll know the answer to this question over the next several months. I'm hopeful that they'll do the right thing, and I'm very grateful to be able to work with you all during this incredibly challenging time to help our city. Thanks, everybody.